Welcome, viewers and listeners from the void. You're watching the BGBC, the Backlog Gaming Broadcast Company. I'm your host, Eddie Akiba, and today I'm going to be playing Snatcher for the SEGA CD. This is one of my favorite games of all time. And it's going to be the subject of this month's Imposter Syndrome podcast episode. Now recording the last Sunday of every month. We're going to get started. I have not played this game since at least 1995. Start here. Make sure stuff is set up right. Come on. Okay. 1994. So if you're not familiar with Snatcher, Snatcher is kind of a cult classic graphic adventure game slash visual novel that came out. Well, the only official U.S. release was for the SEGA CD, which came out in 1994, as you can see. SEGA CD is kind of a niche system. That was a add-on system for the original Sega Genesis. I was lucky enough to own one of those. I think I saved up a lot of lunch money, and I think my mother paid for the other half of it. Got it from a Sears. But anyway, I remember, so this is back in the day when, right around when the big thing was everybody wanted everything to be multimedia. Your encyclopedia was going to come on CDs. You're going to do everything on CDs, and there's going to be one device, and all that stuff. So Sega CD, I can still remember the commercial for it. It was like, hey, you still haven't gotten a Sega CD. It was definitely appealing towards like young teenagers. Sega was definitely cool back then. So I bought into all the hype and propaganda of it. With CD technology, they could make a bit more stuff on the games and, CD audio, stuff like that, full motion video, all those cool bells and whistles. And so for me, again, this is pre-PlayStation. And so for me, I remember playing this first time I got it and thinking this was like the most advanced futuristic game I ever played in my life. I love this game. Alright, so we're going to get started. Alright, now if you originally had the Sega Genesis, you had the option of you could use your light gun during the game because there was there's shootout segments, but you can use the controller if you don't have the. You could use it was the Justifier, I think it was called. It was the light gun that came with the home port of Lethal Enforcers, which is a Konami light gun game that came out in the arcade in the 90s. But we'll get started here. Story, characters, and events in this game are entirely fictional. Any similarities to actual people, places, and events are entirely coincidental. Just hearing that, like this, having CD audio, quality audio in a home video game back then was amazing. This story is dedicated to all those cyberpunks who fight against injustice and corruption every day of their lives. Very 90s.
June 6, 1996. A mysterious explosion destroys the Chernobyl research facility near Moscow. Lucifer Alpha, a powerful biological weapon under secret development there, is released into the atmosphere, creating a deadly biohazard. Carried by the trade winds, Lucifer Alpha spreads throughout Eastern Europe and Eurasia, destroying 80% of the populace. Half of the world's people die. The greatest biohazard in history later becomes known simply as the catastrophe. 50 years later, mankind faces its greatest crisis. The appearance of a
Yo, Kobe
mysterious
times.
android life form. Its purpose and origin are unknown. Is it a new form of weapon? Or perhaps...
Jimmy Blaustein, I believe, translated.
They appear during winter, killing humans and infiltrating society by taking the place of their victims. Employing an artificial skin, they can sweat and even bleed. Part organic, part machine. They're almost impossible to distinguish from those they kill. As they steal their victims' bodies in order to take their place, these mysterious invaders become known as SNATCHERs.
Snatchers. So, if you're not familiar with Hideo Kojima, he's a famous video game developer. He is a film buff. He literally watches a movie every single day. And so, at the time, a lot of Japanese video games and to some certain degree some anime were heavily influenced by American pop culture, stuff like Terminator. This game specifically, it's a hodgepodge of influences, like I said, Terminator, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Obviously, Blade Runner is a huge influence on this game. I'd never seen a game as cinematic as this before. I can remember playing this as a kid and getting blown away. I mean, this is basically pixel art Blade Runner right here. And some sweet jazz. Gillian Seed, an unsung top tier character in all the video games. Bought my first, because you could play actual music CDs on the Sega CD. I purchased my first CD in my life to play on the Sega CD. I think it was either was a Cypress Hill CD or a Dr. Dre CD. Yeah. There was this naive belief. Okay. Just gorgeous pixel art. There was this kind of this, and before smartphones came in and kind of took over everything, there was this idea that you were going to have one multimedia device in your living room that was going to do everything. It was going to play CDs, it was going to play movies, it's where you're going to play your games, and all that stuff. Of course, then, smartphones came along and did away with that. There was also a big push for, in this era, for full motion video games, which they would shoot live action actors and then turn them into games, and a lot of them were shitty, but at the time we thought that was holy shit, it's gonna be playing a movie, except that's not how video games work. Anyway.
How was work? Everything okay?
Gillian, what is it? What's wrong?
Jamie, I've become a junker.
A junker? Gillian, but why?
Jamie, you know why. It's the only way we can regain our lost memories. Snatcher is the only word that keeps coming back every time we try to remember our past. I have to face them to find out why.
Yes, but I can sense that there is something terrible hidden in our past. And if we remember it, it will destroy us.
Jamie! I'm going now.
I'm going now.
What? I can't hear you.
Again, wholesale just rip off of Blade Runner, but who cares?
Gillian Seed, estimated age 31.
think 31 was so old.
Siberian neutral zone by the 17th Siberian Investigative Force. Both Gillian and Jamie suffer from severe amnesia. Their memories of events prior to being picked up in Siberia lost in a mysterious mental fog. 2 years ago, after a vain attempt to rebuild their marriage, Jamie and Gillian separate. Following extensive special military training, Gillian is ordered to report to Neo-Kobe City as
Oh my god, that's right. He's like divorced. Konami Omni Building. Junker Headquarters. Act 1. Snatch. That's it. Alright. Welcome to Junker Headquarters. May I help you? Mika. So, yeah, like this is like a graphic adventure game. I always was really into big story-driven narrative games back in the day, especially because back in the day there were a lot of games that had deep stories. So if there's one that came out that had a very intricate story in it, I always hopped on it because I really enjoy video games as a storytelling medium. And this is where I'm trying to think. Outside of some early adventure games like Shadowgate on the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Sega CD was kind of my first introduction to PC style point and click and graphic adventure style games, because we couldn't afford a PC back then, and the hardware at the time couldn't really do voice acting and everything like that. So something like Sega CD kind of let me dip my toes in for the first time. So for example, I think I played one of the Monkey Island games for the first time in Sega CD. You have Snatcher, which again is one of my favorite games of all time. Get started. Welcome to Junker Headquarters. May I help you? So basically you have conversation trees or root trees kind of things here. So you have enter, look, investigate. So you have different commands. So you can go click on look, and then it'll show you the different items or things that you can look at in the room. Kind of like if you were playing a point and click adventure game and you hovered over an item in the environment and you clicked on it, it would give you a description. That's the same kind of premise here. So operator, this would be she's a beautiful oriental woman. Okay, so this was early 90s. I still think it was still, unfortunately, people still think, unfortunately, called yeah. And translations weren't always the best back then. It's a Junker recruiting ad. So Junker is kind of like the equivalent, if you think of Blade Runner, they're the equivalent in this gaming universe of the Blade Runners. Front pod. It's one of those pod-type reception units where the operator sits in a shielded capsule. This is some pretty heavy-duty stuff you've got here. This place may be more dangerous than I thought. This game actually, despite only having one release in the West, in the US, in North America, being on the Sega CD, has been released a multitude of times. It actually started out as a game for Japanese PCs, like the MSX2, I believe, and the PC-88 or something like that. And it was originally only 2 acts on PC. And then when he released it on the Sega CD, they added a 3rd act. So they actually added an ending to the game. And then there was later releases on, I know there was one on the PlayStation in Japan, never got released in the US. And think there was like one for like the TurboGrafx or something, and maybe even the Saturn, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know why they only released one version of it here, because it's like I said, a cult classic. Everybody, yeah. It looks like a security camera. Now, like I said, I have not played this in decades, probably. It looks like it leads into the inside of the headquarters. So I don't know what to expect here. I have largely forgotten this game. There are key moments that I remember, I think. Let's look at a door. Alright. This seems to be Junker headquarters lobby. Their security looks really tight. Alright, so we'll go ahead and... Now, when I first played this, I was like a very young teenager. So, and I thought Gillian was cool back then, but also, like, I had just gotten out of puberty. I was just entering high school, so I didn't know shit. So, and this is the 90s. So, I don't know how... Hold on, let's see here. Investigate. It's no use, you should protect my shield. I'm sorry, may I have your name, please? Investigate poster. Looks like a government ad. They must be really short on people. Shield is heat-proof and shock-proof. It's specifically designed to withstand an attack by snatchers. It looks like they're monitoring the offices. It's locked. It looks like the only switch for it is on the operator's pod. So, I'm sorry. May I have your name, please? So, go ahead and... She's sort of what looks like that... She sort of looks like that actress. What's her name? How do I talk to her? Enter. I'm afraid only Junker personnel are allowed inside headquarters. Alright, so there, it opened up the talk option. Now, did I already investigate everything here? Alright, yeah, alright, so we're gonna talk. Oh well, let's try talking to that young woman over there.
I'm Gillian Seed. I've been assigned to Junker headquarters effective today.
Oh, you're Mr. C. Please forgive me. My name is Mika Slayton. I'm the administrative assistant and operator here at Junker headquarters. Very pleased to meet you.
Alright, so you can talk. Can you tell me a little bit about Junker operations? The Junkers are a special task force put together to combat the Bioroid Snatcher menace. It's overseen by government intelligence agencies. Neo Kobe. This is my first time in town. Oh, you'll get used to it right away. Everybody's pretty welcome. There are many different ethnic groups and types of people here. It's Japan, but it's not Japan, if you know what I mean. Tell me a little bit about yourself. About me? Isn't that a bit forward, Mr. Seed? Let me tell you about myself first. Maybe then you'll tell me. I can tell you're very smooth with the ladies. No, he's not. Am I gonna look at her? Plate. The official Junker name and trademark appear on it. What? Snatchers even attack up here? Yes, it's happened several times before. They're not stupid, you know. Maybe I should try waving high? The chief always monitors the feed from that camera. Looks like an entrance to a vault. Well, how do you like it? How do you like it? I bet you'd like to see the office, right? Yes, I would. I have a pretty good memory, Mr. Seed, especially if it's concerning an attractive man like you. Could you give me a few more details? A Junker's principal duty is to identify snatchers who have infiltrated society and eliminate them. Let's ask more about Nyokobe. From the air, it's hard to believe it's a man-made island. Well, it's pretty big. They practically filled in the whole inland sea. I'd really like to know more. How about next time if we have the chance? About anything more? That about covers it. If you have other questions, would you mind asking the chief? I would like to go talk to the chief.
Mr. Seed?
Gillian's fine, and you can call me Gillian, Mika.
Okay, Gillian. I'll open the main door and show you around headquarters.
Where shall I show you first? Alright, so we can go to different areas here. Let's start from the bottom.
Oh, that's right. The chief told me to bring you down as soon as you showed up.
The chief?
Yes, our big boss here at Junker headquarters. That's his office right over there.
The big boss. That's a Metal Gear reference.
Chief Cunningham, Gillian Seed is here. I brought him in as you requested.
Thanks for coming, Seed. I'm Benson Cunningham, the Chief of Junker Operations.
Gillian Seed. I've been transferred here from the 17th Special Forces Division.
I've heard all about your special training in the military, Seed. I hope you'll put it to good use on your new assignment here. By the way, I understand you're suffering from amnesia. Any sign yet that your memory's coming back?
I'm afraid not. I still can't remember a thing from before the Army picked me up 3 years ago.
You're married, aren't you?
Yes, but we're separated now. She has amnesia as well, and without any memories between the two of us, I'm afraid there was very little to base a good relationship on.
I can see your point there.
Alright, so we're gonna look at some stuff here. We're gonna take a look at the chief. So he's the chief of Junker Operations A, just as I imagined him. Did you say something? Information from all over the world is continuously pouring in. It's a nice night view of Nyokobe. Too bad there are snatchers lurking out there somewhere. Nyokobe at night. Great view, don't you think? Picture of a vase, eh? What a funny design. Looks like a pretty comfortable sofa. Should we investigate the chief? I would like to investigate you, Chief. Seed, I am no snatcher. It's a general purpose monitor using both liquid crystal display and plasma display technology. I don't even think I knew what those words meant back in 1994. So, this is his taste in art, huh? Don't touch that picture. It's very special to me. It's an air cushion type sofa. It's the latest in robot sofas, employing chaos system technology. Chaos system technology? Okay. Alright, we're gonna ask, we're gonna talk. Junker headquarters was set up a year ago by the police as a special task force to combat the snatcher problem. Junker operations were officially started in August of this year. We answer directly to the government's intelligence agencies. This poster is really pretty tacky. Oh really? That's my design, by the way. Chief, your taste is right out of the Dark Ages. Junker operates with certain rules and privileges different from regular police officers. Those are 1. The purpose of the Junker force is to eliminate bioroid snatchers. 2. A Junker, even in the course of carrying out one, must not harm innocent civilians. 3. A subject may not be physically investigated or restrained unless irrefutable evidence exists that indicates the subject is indeed a snatcher. 4. A Junker is required to assist and support civilian bounty hunters. In order to carry out one, a Junker is allowed the use of a blaster, a navigator, and a turbocycle. Those are the 5 rules. Junker's job is to figure out who the snatchers are and to eliminate them. I want you to put your special training in the military to good use and investigate those points about snatchers that we don't yet understand. We've got to put a stop to them. Junker's job is highly specialized and extremely dangerous. That's why there are so few of us. I'm the chief. Harry's the engineer, then there's Mika, Gibson, and you are our runners. It's just the 5 of us. 5 people? Damn. Yes, 3 years ago, the Snatchers suddenly appeared here in Neo Kobe. We have no idea where they come from or what they want. We do know that they kill, copy the appearance of their victims, and take their place in society. And that's their numbers, and that their numbers are increasing.
That should be enough to make your duties as a Junker quite clear. This is your Junker ID card. It will identify you as a Junker. Carrying it allows you to exercise your special authority.
I see. Sort of like a police officer's badge, huh?
And here's some money. It's not much, but you'll need it to carry out your investigation.
Cash?
Credit cards aren't accepted in some regions of the city. You'll need this sooner or later.
Sounds like it's a rough place out there.
Go see Harry, the engineer. He's got your equipment ready for you.
Alright, possessions. It's a robot designed to assist Junkers by performing all types of analysis. It's got a pretty good sensor set up too. Alright, my possessions. I'm gonna look up my... This card gives me all the special rights of a Junker. I'll be carrying this as my ID from here on out. See, that card is very important. Take great care not to lose it. Let's look at cash. Cash they gave me for expenses. Alright, so we're gonna go... Where would you like to go next? Let's go to engineering room. This is engineering. All the Junkers, that is the runners, equipment is made here. It doesn't look like Harry's around at the moment. You are truly beautiful, Mika. Thanks, Gillian. I'll take that at face value. Dude, you've been there for 5 minutes and you're already hitting on your coworker? Alright. There are tools and machines all over the place. It's a regular factory in here. This room always looks like this. I don't know how he finds anything. Let's ask about Harry. Harry Benson is our engineer. He's a bit of a lush, but he's a friendly and sweet old guy. Every Junker investigator gets an analysis robot, quite a combination A. We call the robots navigators. His wife was killed by a snatcher 2 years ago. After that, he quit his detective job and became a Junker. Since then, he's been living with his daughter, Katrina. I'll go to the detective's room. This is the detective's room. It's the office for our runners. That's why what we call junker investigators like you. You'll be using that desk in the back. What about this desk near the door here? That's Gene's desk. Gene Jack Gibson. He's our ace runner. Look at her face again, weirdo. Mika. Yes, what do you want? I can sense that you and I are destined to fall in love. It might sound crazy, but... Gillian, you're married, aren't you? He's separated? Technically, he's separated. A lot of information flows into here. All the information available to our runners is output from Jordan. Alright. Antique desk. Gene's really into antiques. Looks like a nice desk, but I probably won't be using it much. Okay, let's see here. What do we got here? The area. This place is really different from other detectives' offices. Let's ask about Gibson or Katrina. She's Gene's only child. She turned 18 this year. He's apparently out on an investigation at the moment. I'll introduce you as soon as he gets back. Alright, so go ahead and exit. This is the shooting range. Junkers come here to improve their marksmanship. Okay. This Gillian's a little weird. He is weird. How do you start practice? Just follow the Junker's Eye practice system. Alright. Gillian, you haven't gotten your blaster yet. You have you? Let's hurry and go visit Harry. Come on, let's go see Harry. But I think I should get some practice in first. Yes, but... Come on, let me take a crack at it. Alright, if you must practice... But I'll let you use my ray gun, but it doesn't have the power of a blaster. Is that okay? Yes, thank you. Okay, let's start shooting practice. If you press the A button, you can draw your blaster. Press C to fire. You can put your blaster away by pressing the A button again. Are you remembered? Remember, shoot only snatchers. Be careful you don't hit any civilians. Red gauge on the left shows the number of targets to appear. The yellow gauge on the right shows the number of hits. I'll start it on introductory level. Good luck. Shit. Okay. Ah. Shit. It's hard. Not bad. You've got good eyes. You didn't hit any civilians. You're probably picking your targets well, but you need to improve your reaction time and cut down on the number of wasted shots. Come on, let's go see Harry. Alright, he's not there. Do you want me to go to the chief's office? Ask. he's not in engineering. Oh, I didn't go to the computer room yet. That's why. This is Junker Headquarters, computer room. It's linked to databases throughout the country, so you can find almost any information you might need. So I remember this thinking this was futuristic. That basically, they had in-game internet, which I actually didn't have internet back then. Well, maybe in school, I think we had computers in the computer lab that had internet, but I did not have internet at home. It's obviously not real internet, but ask about the computer. This is our host computer, a model RM1013. We call it Jordan. That's for Junker Online Regional Data Access Network, and employs full-scale artificial intelligence based processors. Jordan is fully programmed with all human learning routines and uses an intelligent interface to perform automatic translation, problem solving, you name it. It employs expert class artificial intelligence routines developed for field work robots. It's the best there is. It's crazy that like this stuff back here that I was playing as a kid, thinking like, okay, it's magic, sci-fi fantasy has never happened. Now we have AI taking over everything. Alright, let's ask some more. First, put your Junker card in this slot. Once it's confirmed, you as a user, you just follow the instructions that Jordan flashes on the screen. Alright. Let's look at Mika again. I wonder if he really can make it as a Junker. It's kind of funny if you think he's just got this bumbling idiot. Antiques in the computer room. I haven't seen a keyboard in some time. Number of input and output devices are linked to his computer. Alright, we're going to use Jordan. Alright, go ahead and sit down here. Once you've registered on the system, the rest is easy. I am Jordan, Junker Headquarters host AI computer system. Please insert your ID card. What? Has this thing got a personality? Okay, Junker card going in. User confirmed as Galian Seed. Welcome to Jordan. What sort of information do you need? Well, at least it let me in. Jordan ID file. Use the cursor to input the name of the person you are searching for. Input first name, then last name without a space. For example, input John Konami as John Konami. Or you can search with just a first name. For example, John. Enter name. How about Gene? Gene Jack Gibson, runner, Junker Agency, age 55, height, blah, blah, blah. Blood type, O+, family, wife, Alice, deceased, daughter, Katrina, age 18, officer in Police Science Division, since 2015. Wife killed by Snatcher in Bioroid Panic of 2046, requests and is granted transfer to Junker Agency. Okay. So then you could do other things, like, for example, you could do the chief, or like, let's do like Mika. Mika Slayton, administrative assistant, Junker Agency 23. So Gillian's what, 31, 20, okay. Blood type A+, marital status single, graduated from Kobe City University with a dual major in criminal psychology and municipal data management. Worked at Kobe Crime Research Lab before moving to Junker Agency. Handled numerous unusual cases at the lab and solved them by using the dangerous technique of attaining a complete simpatico with the criminals. But psychological stress from the job led to her to resign. Recommendation from Junker Chief led to her joining the agency. Put in Harry. Harry Benson, engineer, Junker Agency 55. Single, background, originally member of government science team to combat snatchers before its combination with police team to form Junker Agency. Parents die in the catastrophe. Harry taken into government custody. Earns PhD from Michigan State University at age 14. Gains widespread attention for his development of weapons during World War III. Hopefully they are not predicting World War III. Joins NASA following war and contributes to Ramjet engine development team. 3 Nobel Prizes, 1 Fields Prize. Okay, not bad. Who else we got here? Chief. Benson Cunningham. Chief Junker Agency, 46. Dude's 46. Lead Special Anti-Snatcher Force Foxhound. Before being named Junker Chief. Also served as tactical instructor in Foxhound Special Forces in 20s. Participated in 2033 Wellington Olympics in Judo. So of course, Foxhound is the military unit in the Metal Gear franchise. So a little Easter egg there. Who else is there? I'm going to see if Kojima is in here. I'm going to see if Hideo is in here. Are you in here, Hideo? Hideo, can you hear me? Hideo. Let's do Kojima. There are like little Easter eggs and stuff in this game. See, there you go. Hideo Kojima, birthday, August 24th, 1963. So that how old is Kojima now? If that's true, he would be 37 and 26 is, well, 37, 25 would be 55, 62, I think, at this point. Zodiac sign Virgo. Hell yeah, fellow Virgo. Personality, 3rd generation family man. Nickname Ojama. Favorite game Zabika. Message. Snatcher has crossed the sea. I hope you all enjoy it a lot. Cool. Wonder if I put Konami in there. How about Simon Belmont? No match names found. Okay. Alright. We'll quit the ID file. Load fact file. Jordan fact file. Please select the category you wish to search. History. The catastrophe. Okay, a lot of lore here in the beginning of the game. And, you know, honestly, like, a game like this, I think, really helped me to become I shouldn't say that because they're already reading by the point. So I was a big, read a lot of, like, sci-fi back in elementary school, grade school, and then, like, high school. I was going to say that Snatcher helped me to read. No, that's not true at all. The catastrophe. Catastrophe. On June 6, 1996, a mysterious explosion destroyed the Chernobyl research facility near Moscow. The explosion released a biological weapon called Lucifer Alpha. That's a metal-ass name there. Which had been under development by the old Soviet regime into the atmosphere, creating the greatest biohazard in history. Within 1 week, the bacteria spread throughout Eastern Europe and Eurasia, killing 80% of the population there. 6 months later, Lucifer Alpha suddenly mutated into a non-lethal form. Northern Eurasia, now an unpopulated wasteland, was designated and remains a United Nations neutral zone to prevent unauthorized exploitation since the disaster, which has become known as simply as the catastrophe. Hundreds of research papers have been published purporting to reveal its causes, but the real reason behind it remains unknown. Junker, full organizational name. Japanese undercover neurokinetic elimination rangers. Junker agents history, April 2047. National Police Agency forms special team to deal with Snatcher problem. May 2047. Government intelligence agencies establish investigative science team to research Snatcher activities and devise solutions. August 2047. Police and government organizations are formally combined into new agency called Junker. New group is organizationally overseen by the government intelligence agencies. Okay. Junker agency organization, staff, classifications, chief or head, engineer, operator, runner, investigator, and navigator support robot. Related group, Junk team, engineer, is responsible for development and maintenance of all Junker support equipment. Operator is responsible for management of data transmitted from the field by navigators as well as day-to-day operation of HQ facilities. Chief is in charge of judgment of overall situation and assignment of duties to runners. Runners are responsible for carrying out actual investigations of Snatcher activities with the assistance of navigator robots. This post is exceptionally dangerous. Junk team is responsible for cleanup and data gathering at sites where runners have dispatched Snatchers. Okay. Did I already look at staff? Junker staff. As of December 2047, Benson Cunningham, Chief. Gene Jack Gibson, Runner. Harry Benson, Engineer. Mika Slayton, Operator. Gillian Seed, Runner. Newly assigned. Louis Gilmore, Runner. Sergio Grazio. David Johnson. Schultz Karts. Okay, let's look up those names. Louis Gilmore, okay. I guess, well, let's look at this other stuff first. Wow, that's a lot of lore. Okay, concerning Snatchers. Insectors. Spider-shaped probe security robots used by Snatchers. Thread-like sensor apparatus deployed from rear of robot triggers. Needle gun attack if touched or approached. Microjet powered, known to jump length 30 centimeters, 500 grams. Specimens recovered for study by Junk team, invariably self-destruct, preventing further analysis. Snatcher characteristics. 1. Snatchers operate almost exclusively at night and during the winter months. 2. Snatchers only snatch VIPs. Their ultimate goal appears not to be the snatch itself, but some secondary effect of it. Snatchers' targets are restricted by their physical size. While they can adjust the size of their major body areas, these adjustments are limited. As such, their victims are exclusively persons of 150 to 180 centimeters in height. This makes snatching of children, the elderly, etc. impossible. Seems like not very efficient if you're trying to take over society. Snatcher weapons. Mouth-firing laser cannon. Weak point. Thin slit portion of their skull armor, which make head size adjustments possible. Alright, what else we got here? Chronology. Snatcher history, December 22nd, 2044, first contact. Bioroid's remains are recovered from the wreckage of SRS Flight 4003, which crashed in the Roko mountain range. February 18th, 2045, a Snatcher which had killed and replaced the mayor of Neo Kobe, B. O'Connor, is captured but self-destructs during transport. In December, Neo Kobe is thrown into a panic over the problem. The witch hunts take place as people try to uncover and destroy imagined Snatchers. November 3rd, 2047, well-known KBC newscaster is revealed to be a Snatcher and terminated. The remains self-destruct, preventing further analysis. Number 15, 2047, leader of a prominent revolutionary religious group is determined to be a Snatcher. During pursuit, the Snatcher's car crashes, destroying it in the resulting fire. November 20th, 2047, former president of a biotechnology firm is uncovered as a Snatcher and terminated. During the transport, the remains are stolen. Alright, let's talk about Neo Kobe. Wow, okay, Neo Kobe data. Neo Kobe city statistics, total population, 5.83 million. We got the ethnic group breakdown. Okay, ethnic groups, Japanese 30%, Chinese 24%, American 10%, West European 5%, East European 11%, because this came out during the Cold War still, so there was still East and West Europe. Well, I mean, not. Scratch that. Brain fart. That was a stupid statement. Of course, there's Eastern Europe and Western Europe, you idiot. Anyway, Hispanic 5%, Jewish 5%, Philippine 3%, other 7%, unregistered population 1.2 million estimated, total area undetermined. Weird that they put the ethnic breakdown in there. History. Development of the city. Construction to link major man-made islands of the inland sea begins near the end of the 20th century. Plan to link the 5 major blocks into one large metropolis, Neo Kobe, is promoted in the early 21st century. Plan is completed 10 years later in conjunction with Kobe Expo. City launched as a major new hub for Asia and experiences heavy immigration. By 2045, city becomes known as Neo Crowbar due to the infamy as the city with the world's highest crime rate. Kobe Bridge completed. A quarantine of Neo Kobe is launched on December 1st, 2047 as a method of preventing the spread of the Snatcher menace. All land, sea, and air links to the city, except for Kobe Bridge, are cut and patrolled by the military. Passage over the Kobe Bridge requires a government-issued pass and numerous thorough checks. The mother computer system, which unifies and oversees administration of Neo Kobe, developed via sophisticated networking of hundreds of separate systems in the city. A high-speed Euro computer capable of mimicking human thought and reasoning patterns, maintaining extensive files on all individuals, corporations, and groups within the city, also manages the day-to-day operation of the city's financial, distribution, and transport systems. Alpha 1 program maintenance is coordinated by Konami Software's Project Development Division subgroup number 48. Video phone number 301234. Okay. Snow 9. Crystalline form of pollen created using genetic manipulation techniques. Developed for military use, it disrupts nearly all radio transmissions. It is poisonous to humans. In large quantities, it can cause symptoms similar to respiratory arrest, while even small quantities cause allergy-like symptoms such as sneezing and runny noses. Larger than ordinary pollen, the crystals are visible to the naked eye and appear similar to snow, hence the name. Pollen creates environmental problems as well, and vegetation producing it was destroyed in large quantities after the war to avoid them. Nevertheless, it is re-emerging in tropical regions as well as subtropical regions where water supplies are plentiful, such as near rivers. At present, the only known area affected in Neokobe is in the vicinity of the Ina River, as the pollen appeared in Neokobe only after the first presence of snatchers was confirmed. The relationship between the two is currently under careful investigation. Alright, we need to, wow, there's still a lot more lore. Okay. A mysterious disease, which originated in France around 2035. The first patient in Neokobe was recorded in the summer of 2040. At present, between 50,000 and 100,000 residents of Neokobe are believed infected. STBO victims develop fever, joint and muscle pain, diarrhea, lymph node inflammation, tremors, and pneumonia, with over 60% dying from the disease. Transmission is via bodily fluids such as blood, saliva, and semen, and generally spread by sexual contact or hypodermic needles, particularly when unsterilized ones are used for the injection of illegal drugs. Similarities to the disease AIDS, which emerged some 55 years ago, led researchers to believe at one time that STBO was a mutated form of the AIDS virus, but the two have since been shown to be unrelated. There is still no treatment or cure. Public discomfort about the disease and concerns about whether others close to them are carriers has noticeably increased the level of suspicion in the general population and significantly harmed interpersonal communication. In many ways, this trend has made detection of snatchers more difficult. So some commentaries on AIDS discrimination from the 90s there from Kojima. We got here Liquid Sky. Recently developed a new type of hallucinogen derived from alkaloids. Usage is via injection, either under the skin or directly into a vein. The drug indirectly stimulates the user's nervous and limbic systems, creating a strong sense of excitement as well as hallucinations. Additional effects include lowering of the user's sensitivity to feelings of worry, doubt, or fear. The drug soared in popularity among young people during the late 2040s. Regular use causes changes in brain tissue synapses, which can result in impaired nervous function if use is prolonged. Alright, let's go here. The black market. The underground market in Neokobe, vast numbers of products, both legal and illegal, are available at cut-rate prices. Chinese immigrants with excellent business and marketing skills contributed greatly to the market's growth during its early years. Some experts believe its size now exceeds that of the regular marketplace. The market has mainly served to meet the needs of immigrants from the mainland and illegal aliens, but the wide variety of merchandise and low prices now attract many regular customers from the general population, severely hurting the business of traditional merchants. The largest organization in Neokobe in the market is the so-called Plato's Cavern area. Alright, I think we're almost done with the lore. Okay. We got here transportation, tube liner, a linear motor train utilizing superconducting magnets for propulsion. System was the backbone of transport in Neokobe for 30 years after the war, but was scrapped due to the spread of slums in the south and the introduction of automatic traffic control via central computer. The original plan was for trains to travel in near vacuum tunnels to reduce air resistance to almost zero, but high costs and the weak foundations of the reclaimed land in the city prevented realization. The abandoned tunnels of the system still exist. Demolition efforts have been hampered by property ownership disputes and the weak foundations. So they already knew back then in 1994 that the Hyperloop would not work. Alright, so we are going to kind of skip some of this here. Unless we want to look at some culture science thing. Let's look at science. Wow, okay. So we're going to come back to this. Well, throughout the game, I'll come back to this and do some more lore. But just to keep things moving along. We'll, I hope I was able to be of service. I look forward to our next session together. Alright, so let's go to... Harry's got to be back by now. I don't know. He's quite the freewheeling type. There we go. There's Harry.
Harry's back.
Great to meet you. You're Gillian Seed, right? Haven't we met somewhere before? No, I don't believe so. Really? I guess I must be imagining things.
Alright. Let's look at Harry. Somehow I get the same impression. Have I met this guy somewhere? What's wrong? Do I have something hanging from my nose? We look at that poster, which I believe is... There's a poster and a photograph on the wall. Those are odd work clothes. Let me take a look at those. Hey, what are you doing? Stop it. This is very old. This is kind of printing technology. Hasn't been used since the last century. Keep your hands off that, will ya? It's getting pretty fragile. Photo. It's the picture that was on the wall. This appears to have been cut out of a larger photo. Alright.
I know. All right, allow me to introduce the Navigator, which I designed especially for you. Hey, Metal Gear, get out here.
Little humor here because the Metal Gear and the Metal Gear games are big, giant, walking nuclear tanks.
Metal, introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. Pleased to meet you, Gillian. I am Metal Gear Mach 2. I am programmed to be your personal assistant.
Metal Gear? That's a pretty weird name.
Oh, he's cute.
Thank you.
I think he's turning red. I took his basic design and his name from the Metal Gear Menace of the late 20th century. But quite unlike that Metal Gear, this one was designed for peaceful purposes.
So again, a lot of references to Hideo Kojima's Metal Gear franchise.
Oh, that's right. Don't panic yourself. I got it right over here. This is your blaster, the official weapon of a junker. It's got full user feedback circuitry, adjusting itself to your reaction time. In other words, it's just as good as you are. What do you think? Here, see how she feels. It's unbelievably light. You bet it is. This ain't one of those ray guns the Army uses. She's put together with the latest carbon polymers and ceramics, not affected by heat one bit. And her ergonomic design optimizes both functionality and firepower. Well, what do you think, Gillian? I'll take it.
Again, going from like playing like Sonic the Hedgehog when the Genesis first came out to fucking Snatcher, by the end of its like life cycle. Like, mind blowing. You're an engineer. Tell me about how the Snatchers are built. It's odd, but we've never been able to get a specimen. They're always stolen or have self-destructed. Do they have any weaknesses? They're built really well, so it's tough to destroy them outright. Try to immobilize them. They've got these slits on their head for some reason. A well-placed shot there will often destroy their control functions. That's why it's important to practice your marksmanship. What we got here. What happened to this picture? Why is it torn? I don't know myself. I'm told I always used to carry it around with me. With only this fragment, there's no way to try to track down your parents. Yeah, but for me, that picture is my only evidence I ever had parents. Okay. Full bipedal motion system, A. I don't want anything that's going to slow me down. I wasn't built for running, but in case of emergency... Yeah, in case of emergency, what? Carry me while you run, please. You can't be serious. Tell me you're not serious. That's kind of funny. Looks like some kind of child's toy. A toy? I'd be interested to see what kind of toys you had as a kid. Yeah, but he's kind of cute. Alright, so we're gonna... Okay, now what? Okay. Investigate. Let's look at photo. That's a picture of me as a kid. It's my only memory of my childhood. Alright. There's something I gotta... That's... You can't see the face of the kid's parents. Part of its body seems to be a cabinet of some kind. It's for storage. You can put some of your gear in there. My storage area is 40-liter capacity to be exact. Alright, now what? Navigators are designed from the start as a junker's investigative assistant. On-site detection, analysis, recording, communications, you name it, they're packed with features, and Metal Gear here is the latest model. What about an attack system? Don't they carry any weapons? Afraid not. They're unarmed. After all, the main idea behind a navigator is to assist in an investigation's data management. But they do have a save function. Just choose the use Metal Gear command and then the save command. You can record the exact status of your investigation that way. In the same way, you can use the use light command to help you when it's too dark to see. I've told you they were nice to have around, didn't I? How about communications? Does he have some kind of radio? Yep, there's a video phone installed. A video phone? That's right. Just select use Metal Gear and then use video phone to access it. In theory, you can use it anywhere, but you have to watch out for interference. Sometimes a signal just can't get through.
I have a video phone call from Jean-Jacques Gibson coming in. Connecting.
Jean-Jacques Gibson!
I cornered a probable male snatcher. I'm in the abandoned factory in the M district. Request immediate backup.
Gillian, that means you. You better head out right away. Jean needs your help.
We must hurry. We'll use a turbocycle to travel to the scene.
Be careful, Gillian.
This is a turbocycle, specially designed for jumper use. In addition to three-wheeled ground travel, it is capable of hovering and high-speed flight. The vehicle is also VTOL capable, so takeoffs and landings in narrow areas present no difficulty.
Flying tricycle, huh? I just came in one of these things.
We have been assigned this vehicle for use in our investigations.
Look at the turbo cycle. It's brand new and was just tuned up. It's a 47 Interceptor. It's built by the same company that builds the shuttle. On the ground, it runs on 3 wheels, but they're retracted during flight. This is the Junker HQ parking lot. Several turbocycles are parked in the area. It's built with the latest ceramplastics and carbon polymers. It doesn't even have a scratch on it. There's no problem. Tires, There's nobody in the parking lot. I'm going to use Metal Gear real quick. Let's go ahead and save. Alright, I'll save everything that's happened up till now. Which number would you like to save in? Save completed. Would you like to continue play? Yes. Alright, now returning to the investigation. Let's use a video phone. You've got no time for that, Gillian. Alright. Fine, I'll enter the turbocycle. That is some good chiptune music right there. Or not chiptune. We're in the turbocycle. We're in the turbocycle. Operation is computer controlled. Where would you like to go? We're gonna go to factory ruins.
Now departing for the abandoned factory.
Snatcher. Guess I'll find out now if all that training really paid off.
We've arrived at the abandoned factory. What would you like to do? Okay. Okay. Come on. Now what? Why isn't it loading? Okay. Finally. We've arrived at the abandoned factory. This is where Gene called from. It's a battered old factory. Judging from its design, I'd say it dates from the period when manned production techniques were still used. It appears abandoned. Sky is getting quite dark. Looks like a storm may be coming in. This place is quite run down. It looks deserted too. Metal, are you reading anything? I can't tell from here. We'll have to move inside. There's no sign that anybody's around. The building is heavily damaged. It's probably been abandoned since the last century. Alright, so let's go. There's an eerie atmosphere about it. Yeah, when you go to the building. There's nothing unusual here.
Oh no!
What was that?
A male scream. Perhaps something has happened to Jean-Jacques. Gillian, please use extreme caution. I read multiple moving objects within the factory. This could indicate the presence of snatchers or insectors.
Insectors? What in the world's that?
A spider-like robot used by snatchers as security devices. Though compact in size, they are armed with needle guns. Use extreme caution.
Alright, we're going in. Keep your blaster ready. Press the A button to draw your blaster. Anything could happen in here. You might want to save frequently just in case disaster strikes. We've entered the factory. This is a spot where he placed that video phone call. Let's go ahead and save. There's debris everywhere. Please watch your step. There's pipes running everywhere. Ceiling looks quite weak. Building severely damaged. It should be demolished. Sorry, Han. It's been weakened by rust in several places. Let's listen. I'm not picking up any sounds. Yeah, that's really hot. I'm going to have a blister there. Be careful, the surface is hot due to steam within. Metal, aren't you picking up anything? Nothing's moving, that's odd. What happened to Jean? Alright, let's see here. So we're gonna go move, advance. All right, now moving ahead.
What the?
It's Little John.
Little John, no.
John?
Yes, Jean-Jacques Gibson's personal navigator.
Jean-Jacques Gibson and Little John. That would be a great adventure duo right there. Give me a Snatcher prequel with those two. Alright, look at this Metal Gear. Oh my, Little John's been demolished. There's no way to repair damage this bad. Okay, we want to load. So slightly buggy a little bit, perhaps. Come on. Guess I have to wait until the dialogue options pop up again. Weird. Is that perhaps to mimic the loading times of the SEGA CD, perhaps? I can't confirm any sound, except for with water drops and Little John's shorting out. Metal, anything on your sensors? No, nothing. We're the only thing moving. Advance! Alright, now moving ahead. Besides the large pillar across the floor, there's nothing unusual. Hey, Metal, are you picking anything up? No, I'm not getting any reading. It's uncomfortably quiet here. Let's go ahead and save. Yes. Do I have the motion detector? Aren't you picking anything up? Alright. Go ahead and move. Alright, now moving ahead. Wait! There's a figure on the floor. Da-da-da-da. We're gonna... move. We're gonna look at the body. Gnarly metal! I think I remember my sister watching me play this game and getting pissed off. So I guess it is mimicking perhaps the load times from the SEGA CD or something, or there's some bottleneck for it loading the next scene, so I gotta wait until it loads my next options here. Shemo. We're waiting. I guess I could talk about the game while during these.
Dear God.
Yeah. That's so good. Some good tunes. Jean! Gibson! It's Gibson, my god, his head's been twisted completely off. Jeez, I wish I didn't have to meet him like this. I can't believe they killed Gene! He's still warm. That scream you heard was no doubt his. What killed him? His head's been twisted off. He died instantly. Are you sure about that? It seems like he was screaming. I don't think he died instantly. It would take incredible strength to do this. I investigate the corpse. Clothing. There was a key in one of his pockets. Item is quite an antique. That's for his desk, I think. What's this key for? I don't know of anywhere where old keys like this are still used. His desk! Metal, hang on to this key as evidence, okay? Alright, I'll store it. Anything else here? Look, Gene's holding something in his right hand. It's hair. He's holding several strands of hair. In addition, there's skin tissue under his nails, probably from the scratching of his attacker.
Now analyzing recovered tissue sample. Analysis complete. Results on the display. 1. Enzyme antibody analysis indicates subject is blood type O, Rh factor negative. 2. Chromosomal analysis of cells in the sample reveal 46XX. Subject is female. 3. Cell component distribution indicates presence of artificial protein compounds. 4. Number of melanocytes in sample indicates that subject is Caucasian. The results of the analysis strongly suggest that the tissue sample, a cluster of skin cells, was scraped from the subject during a struggle with Jean. These skin cells almost certainly came from a female European, blood type O negative snatcher. Now analyzing recovered hair sample. Analysis complete. Results on the display. 1. Chromosomal analysis of cells from the papilla and root reveal 46XY. Subject is male. 2. Hair color, brown. Hair structure reading of 65 indicates European subject, wavy hair. 3. Attachment of root structure and thickness of the base of the strand suggest hair was pulled out of follicle. 4. Enzyme antibody analysis indicates subject is blood type A, Rh factor negative. 5. Cell component distribution indicates presence of artificial protein compounds. The results of the analysis strongly suggest that the strand of hair was pulled from the scalp of Jean's attacker during their struggle. This strand of hair almost certainly came from a male European, blood type A negative snatcher.
Maybe there's more than one snatcher involved. Gibson said, I've cornered a probable male snatcher. Wait, there's a scrap of paper in one of his pockets. It's written on ordinary paper. Search the house. What is that supposed to mean? Who knows? This could be Gene's last words. Metal, keep this as evidence, will you? Alright, now storing paper scrap in my internal chamber. Anything else in the clothing?
An analysis of Jean's stomach reveals a major lesion on the caloric region of the gastric membrane.
So, John had an ulcer, huh?
Yes. In addition, I read a substantial quantity of partially digested organic compounds.
Organic compounds. If you can determine the composition and the degree to which the food's been digested, we may be able to figure out where Jean's been.
Now making incision in Jean's stomach to analyze organic compounds present. Analysis complete. Results on the display. Results of the analysis indicate the organic compounds are primarily composed proteins that have been exposed to digestive acids for approximately 3 hours. Amino acid structure for proteins suggests the meat is that of a buffalo.
Buffalo meat?
Yes, buffalo meat. The results indicate that Jean ate buffalo meat somewhere about 3 hours before he was killed.
What in the world happened here? Let's check Little John. He should have recorded something. Wait, oh, the navigator we saw back there? Alright. Anything else we can look at? Corpse. Jeez, I wish I didn't have to meet him like this. He dropped his blaster here. been crushed flat, this would take incredible strength. Bending a blaster like this is well beyond the strength of any human. No doubt it was a snatcher. Alright. It's an old type blaster. It's definitely Jane's. It's still warm. He probably fired several shots. Go ahead and save. Results of the analysis on the organic matter that was in John's stomach are... Alright, so those are my hints. Okay. So we'll move. We're going to retreat. We get back to Little John. This charring indicates he was hit by fire from a laser cannon. Nearly all his circuits are burned completely through. His functions have been completely terminated. Nevertheless, his memory may be all or partially intact. Without Gibson, that memory may be our only clue. Again, loading times, apparently. This game came out before, like Hideo Kojima, at least in the US or the West, wasn't really a household name. We had Metal Gear on the NES back in the day. With a lot of video games back then, like, people didn't really talk about who made them, at least in like magazines kids were reading. And so I first learned that he had worked on, or he did made Metal Gear, based on that review of this game, which got me to pick this game up, and then which turned me into like an even bigger fan of his. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, and even if the thing is, like, even the Metal Gear we got in the States that they ported for the NES was a port of the PC version, the MSX version of the game, which had, was slightly different than the one on the NES is different than, or slightly different graphically. Some things here and there are different. It's largely intact, the same spirit of the game, but so Kojima didn't technically work on that game, but it's based on the Metal Gear game that he made for the MSX, which is a Japanese computer. Alright. Memory chip.
Well, what do you think? Can you get this memory chip out of there in one piece?
I will attempt it. Now retrieving memory chip. Memory chip retrieved.
Alright, memory chip. Excuse me. Excuse me, Jesus. Wow. I'm afraid I cannot analyze another navigator's memory. We'll have to go back to headquarters to process it. Let's just hope there's something left. Alright, we're gonna advance.
I'm reading movement.
Something just ran across that doorway.
Snatchers?
Unable to confirm. I suggest we investigate.
I need a save. There's also a game Kojima made called Police Knots. That is in the same style of this game, like visual novel, graphic adventure, kind of very influenced by Lethal Weapon. That never got an official U.S. release or translation. There's a fans translation on the online. All right. All right, moving forward ahead. It's a dead end. Dead end? Then where do those snatchers go? It's blocked by a cave-in. We can't go any further. Don't see any way out of here. There's no way we could possibly move this out of the way. That's weird. Where did the snatchers go? They definitely headed in this direction, didn't they? Hey, Metal, aren't you picking up anything? No, I'm not getting any reading. Are you okay, Gillian? Okay, that's weird. I just started sneezing. That's weird. I was fine until a moment ago. Please stay quiet. What's wrong, Metal? Maybe it's a sensor defect, but I think I'm picking up a sound off in the distance. Can you hear it, Gillian? That's odd. Seems like my ears are going out on me. Maybe it's due to a change in air pressure. I hear something which sounds like a timer. Is there a bomb? There's no other way out of here unless they liquefied themselves. They must have gotten out of some other way. So let's retreat. Alright, moving back. Wait, I can hear something. I can't hear a thing. Quiet. There, can you hear it? Do I want to go forward? I hear something like a timer. Turn up the volume on the TV, on your TV to hear it better. I'm picking something up from the direction of Little John. I thought Little John's functions were totally dead. So there is a faint ticking, and if I had, I don't think I can turn up my volume any louder. Let's try. Capture card. I should probably turn my mic down a little bit. Yeah, do you hear it? Uh,
Whoa!
A time bomb?
Evacuate immediately! There is little time!
just to be on the safe side, you should save frequently from here on. Let's retreat. In sectors, use your blaster. Press A button to draw a blaster. Okay, how do I draw my gun? Draw the gun! Fuck. It wouldn't let me draw the gun. Alright, there we go. Shit. No! Oh, okay, alright. Oh, got it now. Sir! So yeah, if you had the original, if you had the light gun back in the day, you could use a light gun, which is cool. Shit. The motion reading has vanished. Gillian, are you alright? Damn, I got hit twice. Now activating first aid systems, I'll stop the bleeding. Thanks, Metal. Blood flow stopped. Let's see here. Disinfection complete. Now injecting Junker's blood fluid, supplement, and painkillers. Finally, some nanomachines. Healing agents. Nanomachines! Yatch. Ooh. That should be sufficient for the time being. Nanomachines play a major role in the Metal Gear franchise later on. I'd say they're somewhat similar to midichlorians in their fondness from fans. Anyway, that was close. Got to be more careful. All right, we are going to save. We're going to play a little bit more here and then call it for the evening. So I've been playing like the original, the actual Blade Runner point-and-click adventure game that they released in the West, and this is like the Japanese take on it. Now this is a lot more easier than that game. This feels like you're playing like a movie almost, which is cool.
We're getting out of here.
Sorry, I cannot go with you.
What's wrong with you, huh?
Boom!
Jeez, my ears are really ringing.
That's because you left the volume turned up.
Damn snatchers.
There is no need for concern. I have stored all the information about the evidence and the area in my memory. We should return to Junker headquarters. We've returned to Junker headquarters.
Ooh, that was some first day.
Now entering the building. We've entered the lobby.
Gillian, I heard about Jean.
I'm sorry. I wish I could have done more.
You performed your duties quite satisfactorily.
That's right, it's not your fault, Gillian. Don't worry about it. By the way, the chief is waiting for you.
This is the chief's office.
Well, Seed, that was a pretty rough first assignment to draw. You made a great effort, though. I've studied the data transmitted back by Metal Gear, so I know all about what happened out there. It's too bad about Gibson. He was a great junker. Seed, I need you to take over for him. You're the only one I've got left who can battle this Snatcher menace.
Alright. What time is it? 6:18. Alright. Based on the analysis of the hair strands he was grasping and the skin tissue found under his nails, we're reasonably certain that at least one male and one female snatcher were involved in killing him. You've got to learn what he was up to. What was he after? What was he investigating? When was he killed? To find that out, you should start by checking out the detective's room and then his home. He must have learned something important about them, but he didn't tell anyone a thing. He never said anything unless he was absolutely sure of himself. Katrina is the real victim in this. I let her know what happened, but it had to be a great shock to her. Alright, we're going to move over to... Yes. I don't want to be hard on you at a time like this, but you should put in some time down at the shooting range. Sir? I don't want any game overs here. You understand me? No game overs. Hang in there, Seed. You can do it. Thank you very much, Chief. Alright, let's check out Gibson's room. This is the detective's room. We should investigate Gene's personal items. We must learn what he was doing before he was killed. I see. Basic detective work. It's an antique steel desk. This is the one that Jane was using. We probably should take a look inside, eh? Key. How do I use key? Desk drawer, okay. There's a keyhole in the front. A key? Nobody uses keys anymore. Do. As I recall, Gene had a key. Alright. Oh, use. There we go. Use key. Alright, I'll try the key. There's something in the drawer. Capsules. And a disc. It's a 5-inch floppy disk. 5-inch disc. Nobody uses those things anymore. Which I think Snatcher, when it first released on PC, came on that floppy disk.
What kind of medicine is this?
I'll perform an analysis.
Viagra.
Acid inhibitors, membrane protecting agents, H2 blockers. This is medication for an ulcer.
Jeez. It looks like John's stomach was really in terrible shape. And what was he doing eating buffalo? It seems a little unusual. Perhaps there was some reason that he had to eat buffalo.
Alright, let's investigate the locker. There's a coat hanging inside the locker. Check the pockets of the coat for me, will you? Alright. A chest piece was in the coat. It's a chest piece made of wood. Alright, so we'll go to the house, I guess. I need to go to the computer room. I need to use... So I'm going to look at... $30, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you do this... No. All right, let's use a video phone. Call. 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not in service.
The number you have reached is not in service at this time. Please check the number and dial again. This is a recording. JT&T Neo Kobe.
Okay. I actually do need to, I think, check something. Let's read some of this stuff here. So, where were we last here? We did all that. Black market, transportation. We already looked at that one, right? System which maintains the entire transportation network of a Neo Kobe, including land, air, and water routes via direct computer control of the traffic flow by the Alpha 1 mother computer system. In particular, the system's ASV automatic safe vehicle routines work to prevent traffic accidents and congestion. They have boosted the efficiency of ground transport in particular to levels not dreamed of in the 20th century. The system has eliminated the need for public transportation. Term referring to illegal manned taxis. The word taxi usually refers to government-operated, computer-controlled unmanned vehicles. However, such taxis require personal identification to board only operated areas designated as municipal data administration districts. They generate records of where customers board and get out, and thus making their use impossible or impracticable for many immigrants and illegal aliens. On the other hand, black taxis require no identification and will go anywhere, making them extremely popular. As such, government officials have decided that the black taxis, though illegal, have formed such a sophisticated organization throughout the city that they cannot be ignored any longer, and plans are being studied which would legalize their operation. Okay. What about politics? What is the politics like in Snatcher? So there's whole like politics lore here. The Neo Kobe quarantine, the government fearing mainland snatchers' infiltration from the Neo Kobe, designated the city a contaminated zone and ordered the closure of all land, sea, and air links, excluding the Kobe Bridge. The policy was enacted on December 1st, 2047. While the policy appears to have so far prevented any spread of the problem to the mainland, it has exacerbated the isolation of the city itself, without contributing to a comprehensive solution to the Snatcher menace. Since the 2025 declaration of the Neo Kobe as an, quote, immigrant paradise, vast numbers of foreigners from countries throughout Southeast Asia have moved to the city. Nevertheless, this has increased the asset distribution gap between rich and poor and contributed to the social and ethnic splintering of the populace. The problem is best illustrated by the concentration of relatively wealthy long-time residents in the city's northern zones versus the relatively poor, mainly immigrant population centered in the city's newly reclaimed southern regions. The trend was spurred by the catastrophe, which created vast waves of new immigrants who developed this underground society, effectively splitting the city into two distinct groups or cultures, that of the North and the South. Individual freemen. Individuals who have managed to erase all record of their own existence from public and private databases and live without fixed residences, also known as free men, not to be confused with homeless who have been forced into their condition by economic misfortune. In modern information-controlled society, the lack of computer records on any given individual is tantamount to that individual's non-existence. The recent increase in their number has begun to contribute to crime and labor difficulties in the city. Many of the individuals who choose this lifestyle are former workers in computer-related and data management industries. Their presence underscores one of the major shortcomings of society's current dependence on centralized data control and management. Most of these individuals live in regions of the city which are not municipal data administration districts or in the old tunnels of the abandoned tube liner system. The Catastrophe created vast quantities of Eurasian refugees who spread throughout the world, creating a massive global immigrant problem. Chinese form the largest subgroup, and over 2 million have found their way to Japan in at least 5 waves. Neo Kobe, touting its status as an immigrant's paradise at the time, was the logical government choice as the area for them to resettle. As a result, the Chinese percentage of the population grew to become second only to Japanese, but the majority of these individuals have ended up living in the slum districts of the city's southern regions. Dissatisfied with these conditions and the perceived lack of any government effort to rectify them, they even formed their own underground society, which is now far too large of an organization for the legitimate government to control. Okay. Outer districts. Neo Kobe can be divided into 2 district areas. Those regions where satellite and fiber optic cable networks are used to manage all forms of data, the so-called municipal data administration districts, and the mainly slum regions which are not under such control and oversight. Individuals who cannot get personal guarantees or identification invariably concentrate in the latter regions, as the lack of such ID prevents social functioning in the controlled regions of the city. No form of cards or credit are accepted in these areas. Cash is the only currency, while government proposals to remedy the situation have been discussed for a number of years. Debate over implementation methods, civil rights, and the like has prevented any actual progress from being made. Approximately 30% of the city's total area is officially recognized as falling outside of the municipal data administration districts, and at least another 10% is believed to be similarly beyond governmental control, though not yet designated as such. Okay. Is that it? Alright, we'll get back to the investigation. We'll pick up lore later. I do want to look up something here. Chess. New match names. Okay. Ask. We are going to go to the chief's office real quick. Place which serves buffalo? Sorry, I can't help you on that one. But the analysis showed it had been about 3 hours since he ate it, so we know the place must be within a 3-hour travel radius of where he was right. Okay. Alright, so let's go engineering. This is engineering.
Well, so our new junker has returned.
I register high alcohol levels. Harry is intoxicated.
I really thought you were better than that. Harry, what kind of backup was that supposed to be? If you were a better junker than that, Jean wouldn't have had to die out there.
Harry, that statement is incorrect.
Don't worry about it, Metal. Harry's right.
Jean... Sorry, it's not your fault.
Metal, would you give Harry the memory chip we pulled out of Little John?
Of course. Harry, this is Little John's memory chip.
Forget about work, Gillian. I just can't get in the mood for that kind of thing right now. Alright, so we can't do anything right now. I'm sorry, Gillian. Would you mind leaving me alone? Mika, we should give her some time to herself, Gillian. I suggest that we use this time to examine Jean's personal belongings. Can I not leave? Okay. Alright, we'll practice again. Boom. Excellent, a perfect score. Well done, Gillian. You're doing well. All you need to do is cut down on your wasted shots and you'll be fit perfect. Alright, so... Alright, should take a close look at Gibson's personal things. He might have some clues in his desk in the detective's room. Yeah, I have that. Chess piece, eh? I've never played the game. That's right, Harry may know something. House. For a junker, this headquarters is just like home. Let's go talk to... Show... Let's look at the bottle. This is odd. I thought that Harry only drank Japanese sake. What's this? Brandy, huh? What's this? There are numbers written on the label. It says 395644. It does not appear to be a date of any kind. 395644, 395644, 395644, 395644, 395644, 395644, 395644, 395644, 395644, 395644.
Who the hell are you? I'm an acquaintance of Gibson. I need some information. You an investigator too, huh? Can't trust him. All right, let's have the password. The password?
Gillen, how do you know that he was Jean's informant? Oh, come on, Metal. Guys like this always turn out to be informants. It's that simple? I used a trick question on him. I see. What are you mumbling about? Come on, let's have the password. The revolution? Please input the input using the cursor. Will not be televised. No. I'll be seeing you. Look me up again after you've done your homework. Okay. Alright, so when you go back to the room, load ID file, Napoleon. Napoleon Bonaparte, 1769 to 1821, aka Napoleon the First, aka the Little Corporal, Emperor of the French, 1804 to 1814. A brilliant military strategist. He deposed the French Directory, 1799, and proclaimed himself first consul, saying the famous line, "The revolution is ended." Later, he proclaims himself emperor. 1804, his military and political might gripped continental Europe, but failed to encompass Great Britain. After a disastrous winter campaign in Russia, 1812, he was forced to abdicate by a coalition of French marshals, 1814. Having been exiled to the island of Elba, he escaped briefly, regained power, and was ultimately defeated at Waterloo, 1815. And exiled for life to the island of St. Helena, ending his final 100-day reign. His codification of laws, the Napoleon Code, still forms the basis of French civil law. I think we found the passwords that Napoleon was looking for. I see. This guy's really trying to play the role, isn't he? It's a little history lesson there, thanks to Mr. Kojima. It's probably where I learned a lot about. Well, no, I probably learned about Napoleon in elementary school. Alright, we'll use metal cam, video phone. $39, $56, $44. What? You again. What do you want? More information? That's right. I need your help. Why don't we get the password out of the way first? The revolution is ended. Okay, you seem pretty real to me. Meet me at Alton Plaza in the EXG district. I'll see you there. Now what are we going to do? Now we're going to save. Alright, we're going to go fly over to this district. And then I'll call it for the night. I'm going to be on tomorrow. I'm sorry, but I think I need a little more time alone. Mika, we should give her time to calm down, Gillian. Alright, so I need to move. I guess so I have to go talk to the chief. That's the informant that Gibson was using. Only he knew anything about him. I already looked in his desk, dude. Engineering. Then we go back to engineering. This is engineering. Put the bottle away. I'll just pretend you're Gene and do the best I can. I hear you got hit by those insectors' needle guns. Metal took care of the treatment for me. I've injected several nanomachines to help heal the wounds. Really? Well, they ought to take care of it. And you're still young. You'll get over it quick. Let me ask about that data. He was a little hard-headed like me, but he was a good guy. We were the same age, you know. So that means you're still pretty young. Yeah, when I was young, I was given some brain activity stimulants. One of their side effects is that it speeds the aging process, so I'd look a little older than I really am. He always worked rather secretively. Why don't you check his desk? I already looked at his freaking desk. Poor girl. After Gene lost his wife, he put everything into his work. Katrina must have been really lonely. That's why she took that model job. She had to have something to help her over it. Buffalo, I don't eat any of that weird stuff. An informant? What do you know? Gene was using one of those, was he? They're ultra small, nano-sized robots. They treat the body's wounds from the inside. So I've got this miniature and medical staff running around inside of me, hey? It's perfect for someone like you who dislikes doctors. Don't worry, they're specially coded so that there's no reaction with the body of the host. Show evidence. I don't have the slightest idea what that means. Show excuse me. Queen. Desktop. Alright, let's get back to the detective room. Now let's look at the desk again. Oh, can I not take this? Thank you. Okay. So we got the floppy disk. Let's get the computer room. can I use? Yeah. Show. Take a look at this, will you? We shouldn't use any 5-inch disc here at Junker HQ. Wait a minute. I'm pretty sure I've heard John talk about having a PC-68 at home. There we go. So I need to go to his home. You can read that disc. It might provide you with some valuable information. Alright, now can I go back to the front? Can I leave? I'm alright now, Gillian. You can't stay depressed over these things forever. Gillian, I heard you were hurt. Are you alright? Is it getting better? Yeah, those nanomachines are really doing their trick. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Physically, I'm fine, but my heart is still in great pain. I know what you mean, Gillian. Ask about Gibson. He was out of the office almost constantly. He kept mumbling something about, I've got the snatchers now, or something like that. You sound about something useful in Jean's desk, right? Feels so sorry for his daughter. She's all alone now. Buffalo? I've never even heard of any place that served that. That Chinese informant Jean was using, he's known for him ever since he was a science cop. Mika, you look as beautiful as ever today. What? What's the matter, Gillian? Okay. Okay. Do something. Smell? You have an option to smell? No, I'm going to console her. Don't worry, I'm going to destroy the Snatchers. Yes, I believe you, Gillian. So, how about a date tonight? Wow, I don't think we know each other well enough. She's literally mourning her colleague. Oh, come on, that doesn't matter. Gillian, you may not know this, but there's a certain order in which things are supposed to happen. You've really got a short temper, haven't you? Alright, fine, we'll smell her. That's a really great scent. If you keep this up, she will probably dislike you immensely. No shit. I may be leaning in that direction already. God. Alright. Enter turbo cycle, yes. I'm heading out to check a few things. I've got a couple leads. Really? Don't worry yourself or Jean, okay? Thanks, Mika. Gillian? Yes, Mika. How are you and your wife doing? Why are you asking me about my wife? I haven't talked to her in a while. Not even on the video phone? No. You shouldn't leave her alone like that. That's right. Come to think of it, I have her number written down at home. I bet she's pretty lonely. I'm sure you're right. Thanks. Be careful, Gillian. We've boarded the turbo cycle. Where would you like to go? We're going to go to Gibson's house. Alright, now heading to Jean Jack Gibson's house. Alright, once I get up here at Jean's house, I'm going to call it for night. I'm having a blast playing this game. We've arrived at Jean Jack Gibson's house. This is Gibson's house. Alright, we're gonna save. Alright. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm gonna be back on tomorrow for the Backlog Blitz. And then I'll be back on after that on the following Friday. So, hope you have a good evening.